Liberty Ammunition is one of our new sponsors for the Personal Defense Network Tour 2015. And what they've got is a pretty unique offering. It's an advancement in the engineering of ultra lightweight, lead-free personal defense ammunition. And their civil defense line is an ammunition that I tested late last year because honestly, I was a little skeptical that it was going to perform as advertised. I was very impressed that it did, and particularly through intermediate barriers. That's always a big concern with the lighter, faster approach to bullet design. Now, this particular bullet is a 9mm plus P, and it's moving a 50 grain bullet at 2,000 feet per second. Now, if we want to compare that to a traditional bonded hollow point bullet, I've got two options here that I've relied on for personal defense. One of them is a 9mm 147 grain bullet moving at 950 feet per second, and the other one is a plus P 124 grain bullet moving at 1200 feet per second. So obviously these lighter bullets are moving much faster, and that's going to create what we call a temporary wound cavity effect that's much greater. And the other thing about these rounds is because of the way they're designed, the front of the bullet, the hollow point, actually breaks apart in fragments and gets a very wide dispersion of a permanent wound cavity that's going to be very shallow inside of the human body. So it's going to spread that damage out. In theory, that's going to cause more cutting, more bleeding. It's going to have a higher likelihood of hitting arteries in that area, cause more damage, not as deep, but wider over an area than you would normally get with a 9mm bullet. Meanwhile, the center of the bullet, the core, is going to continue to penetrate. And what they're advertising for the 9mm bullet is 12 inches of penetration into the gelatin. And when we tested the bullet, we found that that was reaching that 12 to 15 inch area that we look for in our defensive bullets. Now, this is a 45 grain ACP plus P, and this is moving a 78 grain bullet at 1900 feet per second. Now, obviously 78 grains, that's much lighter. That's about a third of the weight of a traditional 230 grain 45 caliber bullet. Now, Liberty Ammunition has taken an idea that's been around for a long time, which is a large, shallow wound cavity at the front of the entry wound, and then a deep penetrator core that continues on. This has been done by other ammunition companies, but Liberty is really taking that technology to a new level. When I tested it through intermediate barriers, including some very thick glass right here on this very range, you can see that video at personaldefensenetwork.com, I was pretty impressed. You know, I was expecting it to hit the glass and just sort of fall apart and not do what it was supposed to do, maybe get deflected dramatically off the target area, off the line that we were shooting into the gelatin, and we didn't see that. What we saw was a bullet that did exactly what it was advertised and designed to do. So I was pretty impressed with that. So I'm glad that they're on the tour, because what it's allowing us to do is always be skeptical, always take a second look at different ammunition designs. You know, the industry has gotten very complacent with bonded hollow point type bullets, and new things are always being engineered and developed. Liberty Ammunition is at the cutting edge of developing that ammunition, and it's probably something you want to take a look at, and certainly keep an eye on Liberty Ammunition for developments to come.